exciting weekend coming up.
What has been the process, the draft process, been like for you? Okay, let's start with just the combine. You go there, you know, it's the underwear Olympics, and you got to perform, and you did. Did you achieve everything you had hoped for at the combine?
Yeah, I mean, I think I showed that I was one of the most athletic linebackers to ever come through the combine. I kind of tell everyone all the time, like, the combine is a dream come true, but it's something that you definitely only want to do one time. It's a long week, but at the end of the day, just, you know, thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I was able to go. So just, you know, accomplish a childhood dream and continue to put my name out there.
So what was the difference when you came out of that and you put up some really incredible numbers, particularly in the 40, the fastest linebacker out there, and then you have pro day? What was your strategy going into pro day? What did you want to show and what did you just want to hold back on and say, you know, I've run my time, I don't need to do that again?
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny, like at the combine and even at pro day, like it's really weird to see, like some guys are actually scared to, you know, do the drills and do the 40 and stuff because it might not be the fastest, but I mean, I grew up competing and that's just what I love. So at pro day, I was literally willing to do whatever anyone wanted me to do. Just, you know, continue to get out there and just, you know, try to make a name for myself and show these teams that if they don't pick me, they'll definitely be missing out. So
I like that. If you don't pick me, you're missing out. The part of the process too is not the physical part, but the interview part, where you get to meet with a lot of people. What was that process like? It was like a job interview, but you're meeting some of the people that you've probably seen before and heard of before.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Like you get to meet some of the most famous people in the name of football. You know, your Andy Reid's, your Mike McDaniels, your Mike Tomlins. But you know, credit to Coach Gibson, who I think is the best coach, hands down, in the nation. I mean, I was prepared. I literally know our defense like the back of my hand, and I truly understand football. Credit to him. So just, I mean, if it was a job interview, I think I killed it. You know, and like I said, just. I mean, Coach Doran says it all the time, this coaching staff is amazing, and I mean, he's one of the best in the world, so.
Was there a meeting or a meal that you had with somebody that you knew was set up and you had to call mom and dad and say, I'm getting to meet with so-and-so?
Yeah, I think for me, you know, I think Mike Tomlin is up there, you know, just a guy who's literally never went under 500 in his NFL career, and just, I mean, the whole process is surreal, just meeting some of these people. I mean, meeting some of the players, getting a chance to talk to my idol, Luke Kuechly, throughout the process. It's just, I mean, it's been an amazing time for sure.
Luke Kuechly talked about you himself, and you know, that's just a guy that's one of the greatest in the NFL, one of the greatest in the ACC. Did you get some wonky questions that were kind of like, really, where are you going with that?
Nah, I mean, I've heard some horror stories now, some crazy questions, but I mean, I don't know. I guess some people look at me more of a straightforward, serious guy, so they're not really gonna ask me those questions, and I definitely probably wasn't going to answer them, so.
How did you try to prepare yourself in presenting yourself in front of these people that basically do run the NFL, the teams and also the organization?
Yeah, I mean, you hear from a lot of people that you kind of have to put on a show, but at the end of the day, I like to think of myself as just a humble, genuine guy. Like, I grew up in Hillsborough, North Carolina, was raised by two amazing parents, and if you are who you say you are and that person's a good person, you kind of just go in the interview and you be yourself. You know, you don't have to put on a face. And, you know, again, credit to the coaches here. Just for when I first got here, I probably wasn't the best person in the world, but, you know, leaving, just becoming the man that I am. I mean, when I went to these interviews, I was literally just myself, just, you know, just talking ball and just, you know, being super genuine and super humble. So
I've heard you talk about that a lot recently, about your growth as a person. When you came here, I'm sure you didn't want to be called on to go talk in front of the room, or, no, I'm good. But at the end, that was a role that you relished. And who helped you and how did you grow in that? We've seen you grow as a football player, but how did you grow as a person where you became comfortable with something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity and blessing of watching the best leader I've ever seen. He's here, his name is Isaiah Moore. Go ahead and stand up, Isaiah. He's one of the best people and best leaders I've ever been around. So just, I mean, being around him for as long as we played together. I mean, we played together for who knows how long. But just being around him and just, you know, taking tips from him and just, you know, being myself. You know, I truly love to win. Like, I love football, but I love to win. You know, I hate to lose, and you know, everything that I did this year was to try to win every single ball game and try to put us in the best position to win every single ball game.
You know, when you're being recruited, you make the choice. When you're being evaluated as a draftee, they make the choice. How have you dealt with that uncertainty and maybe hearing some things here, or what's the truth, what's a rumor? How do you try to sift through all that and not let it bring you down?
Yeah, well, as everybody probably knows here, I'm a super faithful guy, and I truly believe that Jesus Christ has his hand on my life, and wherever I end up is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to make an impact there, and just my whole goal in life is to bring as many people as I can to Jesus Christ, and that's what I use this platform for. So I truly believe that. I truly believe that wherever I land is where I'm supposed to be. So.
How do you plan to spend the draft? It starts tomorrow with only the first round, and then we go into the second and third rounds on Friday night. Where will you be? I think I know the answer, but how will you spend draft? The whole draft weekend until you hear your name.
Yeah, I was asked to go to Detroit for the draft, but that's not really my style. I'm a little more laid back, casual, so just gonna be back in Hillsborough with my mom and my daddy, and then my girlfriend Lila should definitely be there. I don't know, it's just spending a special moment around the people I love the most,
So you were asked to go to Detroit.
Yeah, I was.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, but I'm not really one to throw on a fancy suit. This is about fancy.
That's a beautiful thing. You hear the phrase, learn to be a pro. It's an adjustment going from college to pro. You have to learn to be a pro, just like you have to learn to be a college student athlete going from high school. Who have you leaned on with some advice on that? And maybe it includes your brother Bryce, who's been in the major leagues for so long.
Yeah, like you just said, my brother has been in the majors for who knows how long. I've been Bryce Wilson's little brother forever now. But seeing the way that he carries himself, how hard he works, if you didn't know my brother played baseball, you would never know, just because of how humble, how kind he is, how he treats people. But realizing that this is your job now, you're not just playing football on the side as well as, being a student. This is your job and this is your livelihood, and that's how you have to take it. So it's every day, all day. If you want to be the best in the world, like I'm trying to be, you put as much as you can into it.
So in 2017, I got a chance, I was working at WRL, I got a chance to go to Orange High School and present Peyton with the Extra Effort Award that your brother also won. And this was after his knee injury. He had an ACL injury the ninth game into his senior season. And he injured his knee on special teams. And I had so many people come up to me and say, why is Peyton Wilson, a superstar and a high recruit, playing special teams? And I asked his coach that, and he said, are you going to be the one to tell Peyton Wilson he's got to come off the field? I don't think so. Where did that mentality come from that you carried all the way through your college career, and I know you will through your NFL career?
Yeah, I honestly think it comes from my dad. I have amazing parents, but my dad's not one to really let you slack. My dad didn't grow up with a father, so I just think that really helped him push us to let us live out our dreams. So just trying to continue to be great for myself, but at the same time trying to make them proud. My dad's not one to really pat you on the back for doing great. He's going to criticize you more than anything, but just the way I was raised, and that's the way I played everything. I think a lot of it has to do with wrestling as well. I wrestled my entire life, and I tell people all the time, in football, if you mess up, you have 10 people to help you. Wrestling, you mess up, you get slammed on your knocked. So that's where it comes from.
So we're here tonight to raise money for the NIL Collective. When you started college, there was no NIL. How has it, that you got to experience, how has that impacted you as a player and also as a person?
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, honestly, I don't think I'd come back for another year if NIL isn't a thing. Thanks to all the support and everyone that's put into, at the time, what was two different collectives, but now it's OnePack. Just having the ability to come back and make sure that I'm okay. And honestly, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. But outside of that, I've met so many people that back in the day, it was illegal to even talk to those guys. But nowadays, all these donors and stuff, talk to them, some of them on a regular basis, just becoming great friends with some of them and networking. It truly means a lot for me. I know it means a lot to all these guys in the room tonight. So just the continued support. Like Coach Norton said, it's the landscape of college football now. So if you want to win, your NIL has to be almost just as good as your team does. So
So you basically, how has it become an evaluation process for whether you turn pro and whether you don't?
Yeah, I mean, like this draft, they said it a bunch of times, like the later rounds are about as drained as they've ever seen just because guys going back to college. So, I think even in instances like Aiden White, who's an amazing player, had the chance to go do whatever he wanted to do, but, decided to come back for another year. Partially, I mean, not speaking on Aiden's behalf, but just to better his stock, and he's able to do that due to the NIL, guys like myself, and there's so many examples of us, but I mean, it's just literally how it goes now. Like NIL helps so many guys achieve dreams that they never would even thought of.
You mentioned connections you've made with donors here, but I've also seen a lot of pictures and video of you connecting with little kids. I mean, why is that important to you to walk up to a little kid, even someone who may not be as physically able to even get out of the wheelchair, but you always take the time for them? They're not contributing to a collective, but you're contributing to them.
Yeah, I mean, I was that kid at one point. I grew up watching football. That's all I ever wanted to do my whole life. So just, being in this role now and understanding that a kid might be shy or, might never even have the chance to do this, just, to make a kid's little day. I mean, literally, they think I'm making their day, but at the end of the day, it really makes mine to be able to have an impact on someone like that.
A guy that I know that's had a major impact on you, and you mentioned him earlier, is your defensive coach, Tony Gibson. He's helped you. How has he helped you as a player? How has he helped you as a person?
I mean, as a player, like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to play for him. It's kind of ironic. He's not the biggest dude in the world, but he has the most fire I've ever seen in my life. And like, when you see our defense and the way that we play, it's not because everybody has a certain mentality. Like, we're playing hard for Coach Gibson because of the energy he brings every day. And like I just said, I mean, he taught me ball. He understands each type of person that's in the room, and he's going to teach it to you differently every single day. I mean, he's bringing crazy energy and fire. And, just as a person, he's really one of the first people to ever just sit down and talk to me like a man and, kind of make me understand the talents that I had and the way that I had to change my life to, get there. I mean, he's put together, him and Coach Dorn have put together an amazing defensive staff. I mean, they're some of the best people in the world. And, I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done for me and a lot of other guys that's played for him.
You've got a lot of memories at NC State, and I'm not going to ask you for your top 11 to match your number, but I'll go with 5. Give me 5 of your favorite memories that you've had at NC State.
Well, 1, 2, and 3 is beating the absolute crap. Sorry. Out of UNC. And then, I mean, another one would have to be the pick 6 at Clemson this year. I mean, they say it all the time. We say it all the time. We literally have the best fans in the world, and just, I mean, you literally can't even hear yourself speak in moments like that, just how loud they get. And 5, I mean, I don't know. I've had so many great experiences here, just, winning games with my teammates and my brothers. Like, I've played with some of my best friends in the world the last 6 years, but this last year was truly special to me. I mean, I really love the people I played beside. So this last year, just the way we started and the way we finished, that's just got to be an amazing memory itself.
Well, this guy's made a lot of memories for us to enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, future NFL player, NC State legend, Payton Wilson. So now it's time to